be funny the whole time you're talking. I'm like, my hands back here. Like, oh, what you guys don't see is I've actually been cupping Sean's bum the whole time.
Hi, everyone. I'm Gabrielle Papillon.
Right here.
And this is about my new record.
Okay. This record was different because, I mean, I don't know how many records you've made with me now. 3? But in the past, like, we've always sort of,
it is.
like, I write a song and then I go to you guys with it and I'm like, let's work out our parts now. Yeah, I mean, for me, what was really different was, like, normally it's like, I'm making a record, call all my people and all the musicians and all the good, whatever, ringers. And this time it was like, there are literally only 2 hired musicians and only for like 1 song each.
You don't wait, you take cover. You take, but you won't suffer. You can wait, but I won't bother.
How was that for you guys to, instead of like working on the parts beforehand, playing them on the record, you were like learning parts that some guy in Scotland or London had done, and you were like...
I'm of Scottish descent, so those parts, I felt like they were in my bones already.
Pull me out, I give in, I wanna scream about it. Shout it out on the wind.
The thing that's cool and challenging for me is actually taking things that are already there and having to transcribe it and understand how it all works and the parts and make sure that it's exactly the way it's supposed to be and sound like the record.
We can see where they have hit the mark.
Going into this right out of the gate, we have like a ton of layers, and that are, to me, I was like, when you hear it, it's essential to the sound of the record.
Yeah.
As if they're not there, it's just, that's part of the bigness and why it sounds huge.
Yeah.
So the thing that's unique, even besides what we've done before, is not only just getting the parts that they're right and they match up, but it's with that number of layers, it's like you have to be really conscious of what's going to work in the whole mix, what we're going to include to make sure it retains the proper feel and sound.
Oh, what about the reasons they gave for every
So basically, like, we went from being like this, like, 7-piece folk band.
That was a big unit. Yeah.
And then, you know, at the end of, I can't remember, I think it was Tempest of Old, where we were going in to keep the fire, and we had sort of realized, like, okay, like a 3-person thing would work really well, and so we, the 3 of us, like, kind of talked about, and that involved Sean a lot too, because he understands the technical stuff. You know, we talked about how do we make this sound as big and as full as the record with only 3 of us, and basically it was like, throw all the instruments at us.
How do we make Nick carry as many instruments to each gig as we possibly can, and make him troubleshoot all of them playing on the same
Have 8 pieces of gear surrounding him. What Jordy sort of touched on it with, like, we now, like, it was almost like now after the record is made, we get together and we're like, okay, you know, with the person who's mixing the live tracks for us, like, we know we're going to use live tracks. That was new for us. You know, Jordy's on a click. Jordy's more accustomed to that than we are, thankfully, but we have to follow Jordy. And so, you know, learning those things. It was like, we fucked up, and you can't just keep going. You have to start over.
Going back.
And then, like, talking about in advance, like, you know, there's so many layers on this record, so it's like, Nick, which guitar part do you want to play? Okay, which part should you play? Yeah. And then trying to find the happy medium for that and for Jordy, because it's like, I, as a band leader, you know, want you guys to be, like, having fun. But then there are also, like, certain critical sort of integral choices that we have to make, so I think we tend to make those decisions together. I'm really looking forward to it. I feel like, you know, we're more comfortable, and I don't feel like we feel like, you know, it's make or break or win or lose, or, you know, like, I don't think we're pushing any of these shows. I'm not anyway. It's like, get the agents to come out. It's just like, let's just do what we do. And, you know.
I'm also glad that we finally decided to cover Kickstart My Heart. Because
I've been waiting for
it's the song that we
go
were meant
on
to
that.
play.
Yeah.
That's like the after
thought it
party.
was
I'm
one
gonna
of
be
those.
sleeping. I'm gonna be home.
I'll be
in
singing
bed.
it. It's just gonna be a cappella.
We're
doing that version?
We're doing a cappella. We stand on stage
Nice.
for 3 hours straight, stare at each other's eyes, and just scream Kickstart My Heart at each
Cut the
other.
whole thing. Stop.
This is Gabrielle Papillon signing off. See you on tour, Canada.
Is that my card?
Pull me out, I give in, I wanna scream about it. Shout it out, I'm all in, I'm gonna talk about it. Pull me out, I give in, I wanna scream about it. Shout it out, I'm all in, I'm all in, I'm all in. Pull me out, I give in, I wanna scream about it. Shout it out, I'm all in, I'm gonna talk about it. Pull me out, I give in, I wanna scream about it. Shout it out, I'm all in, I'm all in, I'm all in, I'm all in, I'm all in.
Do this, and it's all gonna go in a box. And like, do you want to comment?
I think you covered it.
He's like, I don't know why I'm here. I just need to go fix some websites.
Don't interview the technician.